Here it is, Wednesday, November 1st, and welcome to Mix It 3, everybody.
Welcome, welcome.
Just kind of feels bland today after
Decorations.
celebrating Halloween yesterday, right?
And who broke the thermostat? It's a
You're the
lot
one that always
colder.
touches this. Don't pull me into this. Don't pull me into this at all.
I did not do anything,
Nay,
but
nay. I'm not even allowed to touch my thermostat at home, much less here in the Mix Studios. So no,
but
not
now
me.
it's definitely weather.
Oh, it is, absolutely, yeah. It started getting chilly yesterday evening, and even more so tonight. We could be looking at mid-30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's welcome to fall, everybody. If you've been complaining about the heat, you don't have to worry about it anymore. So there you go.
You get a experience fall and winter in one day.
All in once. You don't like the weather here in the South, just wait a couple hours. You'll get all four seasons. Hopefully you had a pretty good Halloween yesterday. Hopefully, my neighborhood, not really that many kids because I live a couple of blocks away in North Augusta from Hammond's Ferry. Everybody goes to Hammond's Ferry. That place was packed.
I bet.
So, but they are prepared, I can tell you that much too. So many houses decorated for the season. So, and it'll be that way too for Christmas time as well.
Yeah, and the houses there get beautiful. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
My neighborhood, it's a lot of kids, so we got to go to do trick-or-treating for kids and adults.
Do tell, Natalia.
Yeah, we have some generous neighbors who gave us some drinks.
Well, it's chilly out there. You need a little hot toddy.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's the thing. You've got kids, so you're able to take them out. My kids are all 20 and up now. But that was the thing in our old neighborhood. We would do that. Each year, a neighbor would, you'd pick a neighbor and you would either have a little potluck or something in a driveway or garage, and that was the way of things. It was kind of your annual block party. You don't see a lot of people doing that anymore, unfortunately. So, we need to bring that back.
We do in our neighborhood.
Well, see, that's the thing. And you know your neighbors.
Yes.
I bet you there's a lot of people watching us right now. They don't even know their neighbors in their neighborhood.
I know a lot of people who don't know their neighbors. So, no, not my case. Love my neighbors. If you're watching, hi.
Well, that was required. Okay. Got a lot of stuff going on here today for you. We're going to be talking with Dr. Jed, a little bit of fitness going on. Yes.
On our Wellness Wednesday, Workout Wednesday.
That's right.
Yeah.
And performer Russell Joel Brown doing a big performance that's going to be coming up. We're going to be telling you about that with the Augusta Jewish Museum as well. Let's go ahead and get on into it. Talk about what's trending.
Yep. So the ghosts and goblins are done for the year, but Halloween isn't the last day to celebrate the dead. So November 1st is Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead.
Say that 3 times fast.
Dia de los Muertos, Dia de los Muertos, Dia de los Muertos.
Show off. It's a Mexican holiday where people welcome their deceased relatives for a visit. You're familiar with those brightly painted smiling skulls, right? Well, those are called calaveras, and their purpose is to show death is not scary. Instead, Day of the Dead, it's all about remembering death is part of the human experience and an opportunity to be reunited with those who went before you. I actually had a number of friends that I went through Halloween dressed like that. Had this,
Yes.
Yeah. What do you call them? The calaveras?
Say that 3 times.
Calaveras, calaveras.
Okay.
It suddenly becomes Italian. No, that's wrong. Anyway, today also is All Saints Day as well.
Yes, yeah. But it's a big day in Mexico, right? The Dia de los Muertos. And it's interesting to see how can they celebrate a sad moment, which is death. But it's a new perspective.
Circle of life. That's
There you go. Yes.
So what could top the worm? Everybody knows Heidi Klum, right? The big model. She used to be married to Seal. She's always doing the big Halloween costumes. Heidi Klum unveiled her 2023 costume last night in New York, hosting her annual Halloween bash. She was a peacock. Klum made a grand entrance on the carpet, accompanied by Cirque du Soleil performers who posed as her feathers. Take a look at that right there.
Right, yeah.
Klum's husband, Tom Kaulitz, dressed as a giant egg.
So Clum's Party has been a staple of the spooky season for more than 2 decades, drawing a host of celebrities since its first iteration in 2000. She typically undergoes hours of makeup, emerging in past years as Fiona from Shrek, Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and last year's Giant Rain Worm, like you said.
I remember the Jessica Rabbit one.
I do too.
And she's crazy with this. I mean, she puts in
Look at that.
thousands of dollars worth.
It's almost like every year I look forward to seeing what she's going to be dressed as.
We make fun of our guy Al in Master Control because he's got a different costume each week. Al ain't got nothing on Heidi Klum. So
Talk about someone who goes all in.
Come on, Al.
Yeah.
You need to up your game there, buddy.
Yeah. Speaking of upping the game, Elton John. He just sold his Atlanta condo in one of the most expensive condo purchase deals in the city's history. The Wall Street Journal reports the roughly 13,500 square foot residence sold for $7.2 million. $7.2 million, just a few weeks after hitting the market.
And they say the market's dead. That was about 45% more than the nearly $5 million asking price. Wow. John's primary residence is in England. The Rocket Man singer used his Atlanta residence as his U.S. home base for decades. He listed the condo for sale back in September after recently finishing his farewell tour. The listing agent wouldn't say who bought it, but they did say they were local and they paid cash.
Okay, so
$7.2 million.
So let's start to speculate. So if it's local and paid in cash, I have a guess. I think it was Tyler Perry.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And Joe's agreeing with you here on that. I wouldn't have thought of that.
That's my guess.
But that's a good idea.
Yeah.
In Atlanta. Yeah.
In Atlanta for that much money. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't us. So we can tell you that.
No chance.
I might give you $7.20, but not $7.2 million. Coming up, it's a wonderful night of music from talents benefiting the Augusta Jewish Museum. We'll tell you all about it next. That's coming up here on Mix It 3. The vocal stylings of Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Luther Vandross, and more will fill the air on November 12th with Velvet Voices, Then and Now, benefiting the Augusta Jewish Museum.
An Augusta native and performer, Russell Joel Brown, is no stranger to the microphone, having performed on Broadway a number of times, and he's the featured performer of this benefit. He sat down with us to talk about the event. Take a look.
We have Russell Joel Brown, performer extraordinaire. Thanks for joining us here today.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Good to have you back
here.
The second annual fundraiser here for the Augusta Jewish Museum, Velvet Voices. How did the idea for this performance come about?
So I've been developing Velvet Voices for about a year and a half. And Susan Steinberg came to me and she said, well, we're going to do a fundraiser and we'd love for you to do something. And I said, well, I have this product that I'm working on. I haven't done it yet. And she said, "It sounds great. Luther Vandross, Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, Gregory Porter. I love it, and we'll love it. So let's do it." And so that's where it came from.
And what can people expect with the performances?
Sure. So I am. The title is Velvet Voices Then and Now. So I'll be singing all of those artists and backed by the Brownstown Gritty, young jazz trio. So they can expect all of their favorite Frank Sinatra tunes, all of their favorite Nat King Cole tunes, a little bit of Luther Vandross, a little bit of Gregory Porter. So Fly Me to the Moon, The Way You Look Tonight, all of those, as well as Unforgettable and LOVE, Orange Colored Sky. So they'll hear a lot of music that they already know and then probably some new favorites.
Oh, I love the classics.
Exactly.
Love them.
When we say a lot of music, you're looking at almost 30 songs in this entire lineup, right?
It's almost 30 songs. So I'm excited about that and just excited to be performing in this new venue. I haven't ever performed there before, so
Now, this event is not only a fundraiser, too, but it's also in memory of a civic leader that we lost, and you just mentioned her a second ago, Susan Steinberg.
Yes, absolutely. So she was an incredible, phenomenal woman. She did so much work in the Jewish community here, but she also had a career as a special education teacher. And so she was really spearheading this project, and then she sadly passed away during the process of putting the show together. So will be a fundraiser, but also a memorial and tribute to her. Yeah.
And how
Right.
the rehearsals? I know you're getting this. We're getting closer and closer to the event. And want to mention, you mentioned earlier, Brownstown Gritty. Very just spot on band.
They're so professional and they're so meticulous with the music. And so you ask about rehearsals, like we haven't had one yet. And the band said, well, we'll meet about 10 days before the performance. And I said, 10 days? I mean, usually I'm 6 months before the performance, starting rehearsals. And they said, nope, we're going to have the charts ready for you. We're going to have all of our music ready. We know that you're going to be ready. We'll do our first rehearsal 10 days before, and then we'll assess how much more we need to do.
Okay.
All right,
I said, okay.
Hit the ground running.
That's
Yes.
right. That's
All right, let's talk now a little bit about you, because your resume is long and packed full of over 27 years of performing in New York, from The Lion King to Big River and more. And you came back in 2017 and not only continued to perform here, but also became a community leader. How important that has been for you?
It's been amazing. You know, in New York, I won't say I was not important to anyone, but I wasn't important to anyone. I mean, you know, in New York, you're just trying to make it like everybody else.
Right.
But here, I was able to work a lot with inner city kids, and that is my love, because their needs are so great, and I could bring to them something that no one else could bring. So it's really been so gratifying to work with them. Through Good Neighbor Ministries, we set up a program called Boys Plus One Girl with a Future. And so we've had probably about 15 kids come through our program. We have a 100% graduation rate. Thank you very much.
All right.
In a county that's the average graduation rate is less, but much less than that. But also African American boys in Richmond County, they're graduating at a rate of 29%. So, you know, to be able to shepherd them through their high school years and get them launched into life has been really gratifying. I mean, it's hard work, but so worth it. So that's been great. And then, you know, also producing From Mozart to Motown, which has sold out 6 performances now, and so yeah, so it's really great, you know.
It's good to have you back.
Yes.
Thank
Being an
you.
Augusta native. Let's quickly recap the information here for Velvet Voices Then and Now. Tell us when and where.
Sure. It's Sunday, November 12th at 3 p.m. at the Adas Yeshurun Synagogue. That's the one on Johns Road just behind the Appleby Library. And so I hope everybody will come out and see. The tickets are available at AugustaJewishMuseum.org.
All right.
Perfect.
Russell Joel Brown, always good to see you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
What a voice on that guy.
And a very nice guy.
A very
Right.
genuinely nice guy,
Yes.
absolutely, too.
Yeah.
We're going to have him back on the show pretty soon as well, too.
Yeah.
Some announcement he's got to be making, as well as talking about the show that's coming up, too.
Here's a tease.
All right, you've got to stick around for that.
Yeah.
Stick around for this as well. Do you know how to minimize the fitness impact when you're drinking alcohol? We have the answer for you. That's coming up right after the break here at Mix at 3. We'll continue next.
Well, a glass of wine here, a 10K run there. When should you consider foregoing alcohol in favor of fitness performance or overall wellness? Well, drinking can still be a part of a healthy lifestyle if done in moderation.
That's correct. Dr. Jed Ballard sat down with us to talk about how you can minimize the fitness impact when you're drinking. Take a look. All right, back with Dr. Jed Ballard talking about fitness and alcohol, because those both go hand in hand. Sometimes too much, as a matter of fact. Jed, let's talk about this. Alcohol is a diuretic. It drains a lot of moisture out of your system as well.
Yep.
So you want to make sure that you're staying hydrated, just not with the alcoholic drinks. You also want to include water with this as well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of one of the big things with that, and that's one of the reasons it can lead to cramps and mess up your workouts the next day, is just the simple dehydration of it. So one of the best strategies would be every time you go to get a drink, just order a water as well. Tip your bartenders well when you do that so you don't annoy them.
Yes.
But yeah, that definitely will help out with how you feel in the morning and just the fitness impact of alcohol. probably even decrease the amount you're drinking, which is going to be a win.
So to minimize these impacts, you're not saying that we should not drink alcohol at all, right?
Yeah, so let's talk about that now,
Yeah.
because there's with fitness, there's kind of an ideal, but I really like to preach how I actually live because I feel that's more practical. So first off, if you're not drinking, don't start. I'm sure you guys have heard a little bit of alcohol can be good for you, right? So
Yes.
yeah, so you've heard that, and there are studies that definitely support it can decrease your blood pressure and whatnot, but caveats, number one, that's definitely in moderation, generally 1 to 2 max drinks. And then 2, the real benefits may even come just from the fact that when you're drinking, it tends to be a little bit of a sociality thing. And humans are social creatures, so it's just so good for you. But we should probably talk about the negatives of it if we're gonna touch on that too.
Yeah.
So downsides to drinking alcohol. Number 1, it's 7 calories per gram, which just as a aside, that's slightly less than fat at 9 calories a gram. And protein and carbs are 4 calories a gram. So it's dense, so a lot of calories. Number 2, it's gonna decrease your sleep and your recovery. Number 3, it's going to lower your testosterone a little bit. So there's a lot of reasons that alcohol just isn't great for fitness. But again, we're going to talk about how to do it right because I want to preach, fitness how I actually live, not the perfection, because no one's perfect.
Let's talk about the caloric intake here, which you just mentioned here. For the people that are having, say, mixed drinks or something,
Yeah.
you really need to focus on the calorie intake with those mixers.
You do, and that's probably my number 1 tip for drinking well from a fitness standpoint is just really watch what you're drinking. So I like to say be a grown-up and drink better alcohol straight. And it really does matter, you drink, the good alcohol has got a great flavor to it. You drink it kind of slow, you sip it, it's enjoyable. When you're talking about something like a margarita, a pina colada, or just a rum and Coke, a lot of times that drink has 40 or 50 grams of sugar in it. So you're getting a huge sugar load in addition to the calories you're getting from alcohol. So either straight or just mix it with a little bit of soda water.
Okay. Are there any other drinks that you would recommend that it wouldn't cause too much damage?
Yeah, so again, there's kind of the moderation thing. If you're a wine drinker, I like all vices, so I'm kind of across the board on it, but they do make some lower calorie wines like the Fit Vine and stuff. I'm not a super connoisseur, but to me it tastes fine, and there's very low sugar in that. And just your overall amount you're taking in, right? So if you kind of limit that, and one of the ways to do that is if you skip carbs in your last meal, what it'll do, plus and minus of this, but basically you're gonna get drunk easier.
Right.
So it's cheaper, more effective to kind of get that level you're going for at a lower calorie cost.
And let's talk about this. If, say you're planning on going out, you're going out with some friends or family, you know there's going to be some drinks involved, you know you're going to be planning to work out here, but so you really want to have the mental preparedness to make yourself do the right thing.
You do, Cliff, and that's anything in life. You want to set those mental boundaries and limitations when you're in a good frame of mind, when your willpower is strong, because if you wait until you're a couple drinks in, it is so easy to justify kind of any decision you want. So a big thing with the fitness hit on alcohol is, especially if you've been trying to lose weight, people tend to kind of binge eat after they get drunk. They'll get home from whatever they're at and then just kind of tear into whatever they want. So if you make that decision before you start, like, hey, I'm going to let myself drink tonight, but I'm absolutely not eating when I get home, or the food stand and the bar, blah, 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 that'll help you out a lot. Okay. Definitely increase your chances of actually not doing it to make that firm decision and tell yourself that beforehand.
Good things to take into effect, especially if you're going to go out and have a little bit of a cheat weekend.
And like we always say here, in moderation.
Moderation.
Right?
All things in moderation.
Yes.
Absolutely right,
Alrighty.
Matt. Absolutely right.
And Uber.
And Uber.
And Uber. Uber is not in moderation. That hit will mess you up for a while.
Uber is a necessity. Okay.
Correct.
Dr. Jed Ballard, thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate the info.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Uber yourself right to the Waffle House. That's what you do. Worry about the fitness the next day.
No, drink water. Plenty
of water.
Yes.
Yes, at the Waffle House. All right, we're not done yet. After the break, we're going to show you an unexpected spectacular that happened in Canada. Oh, stand by for that. We'll be right back. Well, drivers up in Canada got an unexpected but spectacular show after a truck rear-ended a trailer and the contents went kaboom.
You expect to see fireworks on a national holiday, but not just driving down a dark highway.
probably the most spectacular fireworks show we'll ever see in our lives. It was quite a sight to behold.
Ryan Kewen was driving with his wife on the Trans-Canada Highway near a town called Hope in British Columbia. Police say a tractor-trailer rear-ended a pickup parked at the side of the road with a trailer full of fireworks in tow. Traffic was stopped.
And how long did the show last?
It was about an hour. The first half an hour was nonstop fireworks. So imagine the crescendo of the best fireworks show you've ever seen. It was just nonstop for 30 minutes.
Some dared to get out of their cars, still wary of flying debris. The driver of the pickup hit by the truck had minor injuries, wrote one commenter. Dude, that's better than Disney's fireworks. Others compared it to Naked Gun.
Nothing to see here, please.
There was plenty for motorists here to see. One passenger, a 3-month-old puppy named Maggie, remained calm.
Just out there and ate her bone, and it didn't bother her at all.
What seemed like a fender bender ended up being a mind bender. Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
You can't make that up.
cannot make this up.
An hour-long fireworks display.
For free.
I'm wondering which event didn't get its fireworks, obviously, because it didn't quite make it down
That's right, yeah.
Trans-Canadian Highway,
Yeah.
too. Oh, and that poor trucker. He's probably sitting there going, I am never
did I
going to
do?
get paid for this. Oh, man. Thanks for joining us here today, everybody. We got First Reformer on the way at 4, and right now, Investigate TV Plus. That's coming up next.
All right, see you tomorrow.